This is Braggins Adventures. Hey everybody, we are invited to check out a few new dining opportunities at Downtown Disney. There are 3 brand new spots by Chef Carlos Gatan, and we were able to check out and sample from 2 of them. But before we get started, let's hear from Chef himself.
Hi, this is Carlos Gaitan from Paseo, Centrico and Tiendita. Well, I was born and raised in Mexico, in our small town, and I bring you my Mexico that people do not know. So it's very interesting menu, very extend, not just one region, it's all over Mexico. And to be honest, it's just truly amazing flavors, really clean flavors. Little spiciness adds it to the food, and overall it's very for you to remember the rest of your life that you had an amazing meal.
He's being modest too. He's the first Mexican-born Michelin star chef, right?
That's right.
Yeah, congratulations on that, man. Thank you. The food's amazing. Drinks are good. We love the atmosphere.
Go. I'll see you soon.
Yes, pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to get started at Centrico, which is the outside bar area portion of the 3 restaurants. This is going to sit right dead center in the middle of downtown Disney. Guests throughout downtown Disney can walk all the way around at 360 degrees. I will tell you, even during soft opening, this place was bumping. We did wait about 20 minutes to get seated because it was going on. There's plenty of seating areas in here as far as low tops, high tops, and some couch areas. We got seated at the bar. Do keep in mind the only way you can get seated at the bar is if your entire party is 21 years or over. Otherwise, you'll have to be seated at one of the other spots within the area. 4 bartenders running back and forth, trying to get everybody served as fast as possible. For the most part, they seemed really friendly, but they're busy. So do keep in mind that they're not going to have as much time probably to sit and chat with you during heavier meal periods, because this isn't just a bar. They do have food here as well. I'm going to tell you right now, none of these restaurant options are going to be the least expensive spot you're going to go to at Downtown Disney. We opted at Centrico today. We each tried 2 cocktails, and then we split an appetizer and an entree for you guys, which I'm going to get to in just a moment, but I want to talk pricing. Our grand total before tip was $109.91, and I will try to go through with you how much each of the things that we got cost as they happen, but do keep in mind this is not going to be a cheap afternoon for you. All right, we're going to start with a couple of cocktails, and Alyssa got the Sombrero Loco, which is a margarita, for lack of a better word. Super tasty beverage, nice and cool on a hot day, and yes, it was warm. I know what you're thinking. Braggins Adventures went to the Disneyland Resort and it didn't rain. Yeah, I know, first time for everything. But we had a blast. But because it was so warm out, being seated at the bar, you're in shade. You're completely covered, but the breeze is allowed to come through because there's no walls surrounding it. There's just little pony walls. So feeling that breeze and enjoying these drinks, best way to spend an afternoon. I started with the Ancient Old Fashioned. Now, between our 2 cocktails, these are both $18. Which, you're at the Disneyland Resort. That's not the worst that you're going to pay for a cocktail. So the Ancient Old Fashioned has whiskey, bitters. It's an old fashioned. It's a tasty old fashioned, though. For our app that we split, we opted to go with the chips and salsa. Now, a lot of people have filmed and reviewed the guacamole and salsa, but we want to do the chips and salsa for you. Or the guacamole and chips, rather. So chips and salsa, it's only $6. This is the least expensive thing on the menu. I wasn't a huge fan, but Alyssa liked the chips a lot and said the salsa have really nice flavor. It's just not a hot salsa, so if you're expecting that, you're going to want to temper those expectations. You're not going to get a spicy salsa, but it is a flavorful salsa. Up next for cocktails, Alyssa tried the Coco Rocas. This is $16, and it's a rum, passion fruit, pineapple drink. Super tasty, not too sweet. If you like fruitier drinks, but you don't want a whole lot of forward sugar sweetness, go with this one. It's super yummy. I went ahead and grabbed the El Mariachi in Manhattan. Now, this was a more pricier beverage of the 4 that we tried at $20. Do keep in mind, hers again was $16. Our first 2 were $18 each. So at $20, the El Mariachi in Manhattan is a Manhattan that adds some tequila in there. You know what? It's really good. It leans towards a Negroni, but not quite there. I thought it had great flavor. It's one of the nicer Manhattans I've had. I do think $20 is a little bit pricey for it when there are cheaper options on the menu. All right, for our entree, we decided to split the fish tacos. We know a lot of people have been filming the other tacos that are on the menu, so we wanted to try something different for you guys. This is $24 for this plate. You get 3 fish tacos. It is mahi-mahi, and it is in a tempura batter. It comes with creamy coleslaw and a chipotle aioli on the tacos. And then they give you this slightly spicier salsa than the chips and salsa one, corn, and guacamole. And this is the same guac that you get when you order the guac appetizer. I think $24 is it might be a little high for the 3 tacos. They were okay. They tasted a little dry. I got none of the aioli, I feel like, and the coleslaw, I wouldn't call it creamy. But if you add all the other stuff in there, that sweet corn, that creamy guac, and then that slightly hotter salsa, it actually makes for a pretty good bite. We tipped fairly well because they were busy and they were busting butt for us. So we came out for a total of $135, and I can highly recommend spending an afternoon at Centrico. Before we move on to Paseo, I do want to mention Tiendita. This is the quick stop restaurant. It's the walk up and grab and go kind of window. This is not open yet at all, but it is supposed to open May 1st with the other 2 spots. It's a grab and go quick service spot. You can grab it and take it away back to your hotel room, into the park, walking around downtown Disney, whatever you want to do. The menu did look pretty tasty. I am looking forward to trying this, and we'll eventually and get this sampled out for you. But little cool grab and go window. Definitely want to check that one out. All right, we're gonna head upstairs to Paseo. This is what I'm gonna call the fancier of the 3 restaurants. We invited Aaron and Valeria to join us for dinner tonight. There's plenty of seating indoors, but if you're smart, you're gonna ask for patio seating, and I will explain why later in this video. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to click that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you know when we upload new content. And you can also find us over across social media on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We love chatting with you. Give us a follow on all those services as well. All right, back to Paseo. So we got here around 7 o'clock, 7:15 for our dinner reservation that we had made. Again, this is for their soft opening, but they officially open on the 1st of May. First off, patio seating, absolutely gorgeous because you're overlooking downtown Disney. You're overlooking the Centrico bar below. You can people watch. You've got gorgeous views. The breeze hits up there. It's just a really nice place to be. And it didn't feel overcrowded, even though the tables can be kind of close to each other. So we started with a couple of cocktails. I got what I'm going to call the Salmon Old Fashioned, and if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm super sorry. $18 for that one, and Alyssa got the Maya Tai, which is also $18. And 18 is a pretty good estimate for most of the drinks. You'll see a couple that are slightly cheaper later on in this video, but for the most part, you can plan on $18 a cocktail. Delicious drinks. Like, honestly, I would go here and just have drinks if I could and sit out on this patio and drink the evening away because the environment was so nice, and then to have these delicious handcrafted cocktails just made it all the better. I'm not sure if this is a normal thing, but during our time there, they were giving out complimentary amuse-bouche at the beginning of the meal, and this had some queso fresco, a nice kind of flavorful red sauce, and then a black bean dip on these fresh handmade tortillas. All in all, honestly, it was a tasty bite. It got our meal off to a really great start. Again, please don't quote me on this. I don't know that this is something that they'll be doing every single day as a complimentary item, or if this was just because we were there as part of the soft opening. If they do it every day, man, I hope you get this because it was super tasty, and it is a chef-chosen thing. So I assume it would probably change on a daily basis. But really yummy, great way to start the meal. And I should preface this, when I say meal, we pretty much just got a ton of appetizers and we shared. We kind of ate family style. Next, to start, we got I'm going to again butcher this one, the pulpo enamorado for $24. It's roasted squid with a pickled veggie side. Alyssa and I enjoyed this. Valeria and Aaron, not so much. Aaron doesn't do the seafood thing quite that much, but I thought it was a tasty bite. Up next, and again, apologize for the pronunciations, Layuda for $18. I'm going to call this a Mexican pizza, for lack of a better word. I actually thought it was tasty. Valeria didn't feel it met the traditional aspects of the dish, but you know what? I enjoyed it. She said normally it's folded in half, and then I described a calzone and got looked at funny. but it's good. It's a Mexican pizza. It's a tasty bite. Um, I would get it again. If we're gonna be honest with you, I would get it again. And that came in at $18. Um, you know what? I enjoyed it. It was tasty and it went well with our beverages, if we're gonna be completely honest. All right, up next we grabbed the chicken tetela for $16. This dish was fire. I loved this one. That sauce on the bottom, and then the meat just like fell apart in your mouth. And it's chicken, but it's in the vein of like a pulled pork almost, but it's chicken. A pulled pork, a barbacoa pulled pork, like just really yummy. All the accompaniments on top of this dish, when you got a bite that had a little bit of everything in it, it just made for a really perfect bite. These first few appetizers were probably what I enjoyed most about the night. You're gonna see a few more dishes, but I think where we started, we handpicked some of the best. Now, our waitress did help us out, and I did appreciate that help. She made recommendations. Because they're in their soft opening period, they got to try all the food and all the drinks. So she was able to tell us fresh in her memory what's good, what she recommends, and that kind of thing. It's not necessarily traditional Mexican cuisine. It's regional, but it's from several different regions in Mexico. And he puts his own little twist on it. Really good food, though. Up next, Aaron wanted the plate of chicken enchiladas. This came in at $27, and this is on the entree menu. The waitress did say this is a common thing that's being ordered right now because it's the only thing on the menu that people actually recognize as something they might have had before. They were okay. They were not the worst enchiladas I've had. They weren't the best enchiladas I had. I like my enchiladas a little saucier, and these were a little bit dry, but the flavor was there. And it was unique flavor. I really did appreciate the chef's attention to detail on this particular dish. I probably wouldn't get it again, and that's not because the dish is bad. It's because I want to be a little more adventurous. They have a pretty cool looking menu, and I want to try more food there. As you can see, if you haven't gathered already, though, pricing's a little high at this spot, so I don't think I'll be dining here a whole lot. I'll probably hang out at Centrico down below for a slightly cheaper meal. I did want to check out on their side menu the Brussels sprouts. It just sounded good to help soak up some of the booze. These came in at $9 for a pretty big bowl. And listen, we eat Brussels sprouts at home all the time. I love roasting Brussels sprouts. It's one of my favorite vegetables, but there is something about like a fire roasted at a restaurant Brussels sprout that just makes it so much tastier. One of my favorite dishes probably of the entire day was this little side bowl of Brussels sprouts. All right, it was time for round 2 on drinks. Alyssa went with the Ritual Margarita at $18. This one was a very tasty beverage. Slightly fruity, but not overly sweet. It was a good margarita and a great way, as you can see the sun dropping down behind us there, a great way to start our evening now. And as the weather started to cool down slightly, these were delicious beverages. I got what I'm going to call the Manguiri, and apologies for the mispronunciation. This came in at $17. This was a very light, refreshing, I'm going to call it a dessert beverage, because it was a great way to, kind of end the meal. Not to say we didn't also get dessert. That's coming up as well. But anyway, the Manguiri has rum, mango syrup, peach syrup, lime juice, and some foam. Not my normal cup of tea, but I actually really did enjoy this beverage. It was one of my favorite beverages of the day, and I'm definitely going to order this one again. Plus, you have the added benefit that this one's not one of the $18 cocktails, but comes in at only $17. It's sour. You know I like sour, right? Definitely a tasty beverage. All right, for dessert, we all split the mango enchilado for $14. Apologies again for my pronunciation. This is a dairy-free dessert option for you. So if you like us, you're lactose intolerant, this is a great way to end. It was so refreshing and just cooling and delicious. Everyone at the table enjoyed it. I would definitely get this one again. It was not on the menu. It was something that our server recommended for us. That being said, I don't know that this menu is the menu that you're going to get once they open, or if this was just a soft opening sample menu. But dairy-free dessert in Disneyland, when I don't have to hunt for it, great choice. We hung out a little bit longer, so we ended up trying one more beverage for you. This is called the Dove Dope, and it rings in at only $16. Now, don't let that chili pepper on top fool you. I didn't think this was spicy at all. I got more grapefruit than anything else. But it is a super tasty beverage. I didn't dislike anything we had at this restaurant, and I can highly recommend this as a wonderful date spot or just a spot to go hang out with friends or family. But here comes my special tip. Why did I tell you to ask for patio seating? Well, it's nighttime, and their patio happens to face Disneyland Park. So if you stick around long enough and it happens to be a fireworks day, you get gorgeous views of the Disneyland fireworks. And what a great way to spend a night in downtown Disney. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed our sneak peek at these restaurants, and I hope you do go check them out. Tell Chef Braggins Adventures says hello, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.